Oh my goodness, what a show I got for you today. Happy Friday. Hope everyone is doing well, getting ready for the weekend. And in today's show, I got an incredible love triangle. Cathie Wood, Jerome Powell, and Elon Musk. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to tell you all about it. We're starting right now. Hey, thank you for staying with me. As always, everything I say in this video is strictly my own opinion, which means it might be inaccurate, might be wrong, might be the ramblings of a madman. So as always, don't click nothing, don't smash nothing, don't buy nothing. Let's get straight into it. So the first story of the day has to do with Elon Musk and Twitter. Yes, I know, everybody's fed up about the whole Twitter Elon Musk saga. I get it. But wait, this is actually good. This is pretty insane, and nobody seemed to have caught on to this. So as you may have heard, Elon Musk and Twitter are in a little bit of a entanglement, like Jada Pinkett would entitle that. They have a little bit of an entanglement in the Chancery Court up there in Delaware. Now here's the crazy part. Twitter initially started this whole case by having an open and shut case. Yeah, slam dunk, easy peasy. He signed an agreement. He waived the right to perform due diligence on the company, and now he's trying to back out. Easy peasy. Well, I've been saying it's not so much easy peasy lately because the developments we're seeing are making this case much more interesting than what Twitter would like. Now look, here's the crazy part. Just the other day, we heard that the actual court, the Chancery Court of Delaware, basically called Elon's lawyers assholes, obnoxious, and unpleasant. But at the bottom line, he gave them what they asked for, which is the right to amend Elon Musk's countersuit against Twitter. But that's not the news. Hold on. That's not the news. I'm just giving you kind of the preview of previous chapters. Hold on. I haven't gotten to the good part. Trust me, you want to hear about this. So basically, the court said, well, Mr. Musk, your lawyers are douchebags, but I mean, they're right. We can do nothing about it. You have the right to add the newly submitted whistleblower claims into your countersuit. Because when Elon sued Twitter back, the whole former head of security of Twitter whistleblowing Peter Mudge-Zutko thing wasn't even a thing. So the court allowing him to countersue, including the new whistleblower claims, is a huge blow for Twitter. Now that's old news. That's not what I'm about to talk to you here. That already happened. But get this. Now we're hearing that the whole Peter Mudge-Zutko thing is much more elaborate than it really was. Because you have to understand what's going to happen next. And I've told you about it. Twitter's going to come out and they're going to say he should not be trusted. They're going to try and discredit Mr. Mudge. And they're basically going to say he's a disgruntled employee. He's just trying to hurt us. So you should not believe what he's saying about our company. And Elon's going to say, well, no, he's a good employee. He was a senior. He was your head of security. And absolutely, we should listen to him because he knows what he's talking about. He's talking about security issues, right? That's all news. Nobody cares. But check this. We just found out that back in June, just 3 months ago, Twitter paid Peter Mudge-Zutko $7 million and had him sign an NDA, basically not speaking about Twitter in any negative way. So they paid him off to walk away. Now, obviously, that included a lot of salary, comp, and all. You have to understand that companies don't just sign these sort of agreements and giving away $7 million unless they want to keep things a little bit on the lowdown. It's always part of the consideration. So yes, there was salaries, comp, vacation, whatever, right? But there's an element here that you have to understand. Twitter agreeing to pay Peter Mudge-Zutko $7 million just in June takes away a whole lot of Twitter's future arguments against this man. Because Twitter's going to say in court, well, look, Mr. Mudge-Zutko is claiming this and that and that. He's a disgruntled employee. He's an idiot. He was horrible at his job. We had to fire him. He's just trying to get back to us. Sure. But them paying him $7 million proves, first of all, he was not terminated for cause. Because if he would have terminated for cause, something really bad, really negative, that justified him getting fired, he would not have gotten this $7 million. Because when you terminate somebody for cause, you don't pay them jack shit. It's horrible. It's basically them fucking up so bad, they gotta get out, they're getting nothing. Now, the fact of the matter is that by paying him $7 million just 3 months ago, number one, they can't argue that this guy was so horrible, they gotta kick him out. They basically are out of this argument. Now, the second thing it means, in the court of public opinion, we have this guy getting $7 million of Twitter and signing an NDA. So in the court of public opinion, that doesn't look good. The optics are really horrible. Why would you pay him $7 million and have him sign an NDA? Well, here's the thing. Beyond all that, there's also another thing here we have to talk about. Now, what they're going to say here is he's a disgruntled employee trying to hurt the company. He's trying to profit off of it. But get this. You have to understand that when he signed this NDA, the $7 million NDA, he was basically signing that he's not going to speak ill about Twitter. Now, obviously, him whistleblowing is outside the realm of this agreement. He's allowed to do that. You cannot waive that right. However, and here's the crazy part. Once he went and he started this whole whistleblowing process against Twitter, he pretty much annihilated his career. He's pretty much unemployable. Nobody's going to want to work with a guy who's entangled in the legal battle of a former employer of high profile. So basically what we have here is that the former head of security of Twitter is coming out, making public allegations against Twitter against his own interest. He would have been better off taking the $7 million, signing the NDA, and saying nothing about it for his career's sake. So him coming out and saying this right now is really bad for his career. And in the court of law, there's one principle you have to understand. In litigation, when somebody is claiming something, when you have a witness giving a testimony, and that testimony is detrimental to his own personal interest, that testimony has a very high level of credibility. In fact, his career is in the toilet right now because of this. He's pretty much radioactive, and still he's saying that. So that carries a lot of weight. Twitter is in deep trouble. Now, I don't know if they completely lost the case at this point or not. I'm not the Chancery Court, but this doesn't look good for Twitter. Now, moving on to the second story here, which is equally as crazy. So Jerome Powell comes out yesterday and said, hey, everything I said in Jackson Hole still holds true. We're absolutely adamant about kicking inflation's ass. And we're going to go pretty much and do a 0.75 increase. He didn't say 0.75. But the entire market is now convinced there's an 82% likelihood that he's going to do a 0.75 increase. So lo and behold, who gets out and finally speaks again? Like in the wedding, forever hold your peace. Cathie Wood stands up and screams, no, Mr. Powell, you are making a huge mistake. You're overshooting. You're taking the Paul Volcker sledgehammer when there's no such need. I think she's absolutely wrong. And I think things like what she's saying are absolutely dangerous to the survival of the US economy. And I'll explain. Cathie Wood is going for this principle where innovation is basically deflating the US economy. Because look, Cathie Wood has been beating this drum forever, basically saying that her innovation technology is going to pretty much counter the inflationary aspects of what we're seeing right now. Now, I don't know if she's right or wrong. If she's right, it's going to take decades. However, I think beyond just the economic concepts here, I think Cathie Wood is in some sort of a hopium situation. Look, you have to understand everybody has an angle, and Cathie Wood, like everybody else, has her own angle. Her entire portfolio of ETFs is based on low interest environments. When you have startups, you have innovation businesses, you have companies that are not really profitable. They need a lot of cheap cash to get through that growth process and actually start making money. In an elevated interest environment, most of her portfolio, except perhaps Tesla and a couple of more companies, are going to get annihilated. You have to look at the angle of anybody who's making an argument about the economy. Now, I think voices like hers are important, but I also think, again, with all due respect to Cathie, that they're also very dangerous. Jerome Powell is about to meet a lot of headwinds from politicians, from people like Cathie Wood, trying to scream at him to slow down. And I think that the survival of the US economy is dependent on Jerome Powell finally doing the right thing. And perhaps now that he doesn't need another term, that's it. Now that he learned from the mistake of the transitory past, now he's actually going to do the right thing to come out of this thing with an actual legacy. Jerome Powell, if you want to be the next Paul Volcker, you got to fight through these sort of voices. Now, if you will, people would not like it. If you will, people will call you an asshole, but history will judge you accordingly. And I hope that the Fed will have enough of these balls, enough of these cojones to actually get us into this controlled recession, kill inflation, come out on top way better and stronger than we've been before, instead of pulling back and letting inflation rear its ugly head back. So, hope everybody had a great time with me today. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you tomorrow. Kisses.